Alright guys, so finally back for another video after how many months? Ever since I think January, since my what's it called? My last update video I did. So yeah, I'm finally back. Really late too. It's like 11 o'clock. Yeah, I wanted to do this video sooner, but I didn't really get the chance to do so because of all the stuff that's been going on lately. And yeah, so today what I'm gonna do is give you guys some updates on what's been going on with my family, and then I'll do an update about what's been going on with the channel because yeah, because I couldn't finish Super Mario 64. Well, not yet at least, but I will complete it in future time. But I'll talk about it later in the video. So right now, let's talk about family issues. So if you guys recall from my last update video, um, my dad got sick with leukemia on August 5th or 6th in 2014 last year. And God, it's been a lot of stuff ever since then. Like he's been going actually 3 times now. Like before it was twice, now it's 3 times. But the third time wasn't as bad as the first time. I mean, then the second time, because you guys recall the second time was like a like 2 3 months in the hospital. I mean, that is truly insane. I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna start from February because I remember that I finished the video at around January, so I'm gonna start around February. So and then I'll go to right now. So as you guys recall, yeah, it was about the point to where my dad was staying in the hospital for 3 months. For January was the first one. So yeah, it was about the point to where he was in the ICU or whatever it's called, to where like the nurses and doctors would check him like every like hour or so because he wasn't feeling the greatest. Like he had a chemo like during that time, and then I told you guys about his black darkening skin. It was just so awful. Like ever since he had the virus C difficile or whatever the word is. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the words, but it's like so late, so it's like whatever. So yeah oh yeah, what was I gonna say? Um, yeah, so he was in the ICU. Like it was just awful. Like I know I wasn't there because my mom was actually staying there for like a couple of weeks there. Like she has been able to gone home. Like even though she does come home, she would just take a shower and then fix her lunch for the next couple of days, and then she's gone. So I've been staying alone here for the past couple of weeks. So but what she experienced in there was dreadful, awful, because she literally thought she was gonna lose him. Like I couldn't believe it either because that medicine they gave him was too strong, and my mom actually heard him say like he was like talking random stuff. It's like she never even heard of before. Like um, one of the things my mom told me to say is he was like telling like some girl to like move away for some bomb or something. It was like, what is he talking about? And then I realized that he was like having some hallucinations, and it's like, are you serious? Like my mom at first didn't believe that when he met some girl, and then something with a bomb. I was like, what? So it's like okay, and that was like really weird. And then the doctors figured out it was hallucinations. So yeah, that was really heartbroken. Like my mom had taken a lot of pictures, like from January to February, because of all this stuff. She showed me the pictures. It was like really awful. Like to see him like this. Like the bed was like this huge. I think it was like this high or something like that. And then like they had a lot of monitors, like 4 or 5, which is like a lot. Like one of them showed his heart rate, one of them shows like his um oxygen levels and stuff like that. Like he also was having some trouble breathing as well because he wasn't like breathing really well. Like he was like 70 or 80, like, which is bad apparently. Like he needs to be like 90 or 100, so they gave him some oxygen by putting the mask around him. And in terms of food for him, my God, they had to put tubes inside of his nose, and that was just awful to see because I didn't expect him to eat, and now his stomach is like just bones. I mean, like back in February, it was like his stomach was bones, like, but his stomach was big because of all the medicine he has kept in his body. His kidneys weren't working as well, so he had to do dialysis. So yeah, even my mom could, like, I think it was one night, like in January, February, that my mom couldn't handle the stress. It's like she wants God to let him go. I mean, she didn't want to see him like this anymore. You know, she was like praying like one night, I believe, that he wants God to take him away, but apparently he didn't. So yeah, that was a really sad story. Like she told me that one time when she came home. So like I was I was lost for words. I could not say anything. I was crying like the whole night. Like I believe one day at school I wasn't like talking to anybody because I didn't want to talk about anything at all. Like even though it was like other things, I just didn't feel like talking. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, he had dialysis because his stomach was full of medications. Like seriously, it was a lot of medications. Like you have no idea what the cost of all those medications are, which I'm not gonna say until like later. So and the pills, my God, he has to take like 10 pills a day, like depending on what he needs, in order to fulfill his daily dose, so he can like at least like talk or something. Oh yeah, in terms of talking, he wasn't talking at all, like that much, like very little, because the chemo actually destroyed his entire mouth. It's like out here, there's like no meat, which is like ridiculous. It was like black and stuff. He had like black dots everywhere. Plus, here was like, I think it was like swollen or something. He had some infection, like because of his nose, and he hasn't brushed his teeth in a while, so it was like mucus something with the mucus or something, but I have no idea. So I'll have to research that later. But yeah, he was also like his eyes were like like yellow tainted everywhere, like in the outside of his on the black area. It's like this white area is like complete yellow. He also had to take medications for his eyes, his nose, and everything else around his body, which is oh my God. Like I don't even know what else to say because basically he just went through a hell lot of torture. Like it's like torture times 10. But then things started to turn around a bit more, like towards the end of February. Like I believe we made a. My mom was like recording him like a lot of the time because every as you guys sort of know, like I came from Guatemala. No, actually my parents came from Guatemala. I was born here, so his family is like living in Guatemala. I've been there like 2 times, sophomore and junior year, and so they were sending him videos, and then pictures, and then I believe I will post some pictures like before graduation. So stay tuned to those because those are like really heartwarming and broken hearted to see. But you know, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, he has a family down in Guatemala, and actually like here's a little story. A couple of months after we found out he had leukemia, my mom decided to call his two brothers down there, and then like my mom was having some troubles with the connection on the phone, but she told him not to tell his mom because if she found out, then she would be completely heartbroken. Like I don't know what their names are because I completely forgot about them, but anyway, yeah, she called him. She told him like everything that happened, and then she told him not to tell him. And the first thing, what he did was he told his mom, and then I was like, "Are you serious?" And it's like we told him not to tell him. Like his other brother stayed quiet, but he was like, "Does he really have to tell him like now when my dad is in the hospital the first time?" So it's like, mom, like his mom was like really worried. Like it's like she kept calling him most of the time, calling my mom most of the time, and she's been texting him a lot. But after realizing that, like my mom and I have a couple of talks, like basically throughout this whole year. So it's basically like, what can you do? I mean, it's life. I mean, nothing you can do to change it. It's like if it happens, it happens. I mean, we don't know where it came from. We don't know why it started. Although maybe it has to do something with family tree or something connection with other family members in the past. But who knows at this point? It's like life is life. I mean, you can't do anything to change anything. So it's like you just have to be patient and hopefully things turn out for the best. And so far we've been really we've been lucky, but I can't say the same for my mom's best friend from work, which I'll explain later. So anyway, back to the story. And then the middle of February, my dad's seen some very good improvements. He was out of the ICU, which is like watching him for the entire time. So it's really nice. So they got him a room, which yeah, it's really nice. I mean, to see the outside, you know. And what else? Sorry guys, I'm trying to remember everything, but as you recall, it's like really late right now. So um, yeah, he still had to feed him from the nose. Like if you guys don't know, like it's putting two tubes in your nose and then you just don't touch it. It's like they feed you whenever they like to feed you, and I believe the nurses don't like put mercy on you. They just put it in there. Like they want you to live, and in order to for you to live, they just do it forcefully. Like my mom sometimes doesn't believe in like I don't know how to say this right, but whenever nurses give him a hard time, it's just my mom yells a lot because like one time, like a couple of times, my dad actually removed the things from his nose, and then he started bleeding from the nose. So it was like my mom called the nurse like 10 times, and I believe that she was like so mad. And so when the nurse finally arrived, and she was like, "Hurry up and fix it! Like I don't even care how long it takes. Just fix." just fix my husband. So it's like it was like I don't even know the perfect word for that, but it's just really awful to see her like this. Like I don't like this either, but like my mom said before, life is life, and we just have to be patient. I mean, which yeah, because all the medication, which is like really expensive, and yeah, and it's like you just have to be patient. I mean, you cannot rush towards things, and yeah, that's basically it for February. And then finally, after like the last day, the legitimately the last day of Friday, no, last day of February, my dad actually got out, and my mom couldn't believe it because he was seeing some improvements. Like he didn't need the nose thing anymore, although he still needs dialysis. So, which was like a long time ago. So, um, yeah, he still needed dialysis. He still needed to take some medications, like especially for the eyes, but that has been improved. His mouth has actually gotten a lot better. Like there were no more holes, although some things were swollen, and his teeth weren't, the greatest. But it was lucky that he didn't lose any because of his gums. Like his gums were like white or something, like whitish color, which is like really ugly to see. And his tongue, I believe it was white in the top, but that has been improved also. Sorry. Yeah, of course his hair was not there, so yeah. Um, but his body was like completely like skeletonized, so just look at my skin and then just remove all of this I don't know what's it called, like skin or fat or something like that, and then it's just bone. I mean, there's no like meat in there because he's still couldn't eat. Like the medications for the common deficit actually removed his appetite, which is like really bad for my mom because every time we tried to convince him to eat, he was like, "No, I'm not hungry." It's like every time his answer like that ever since middle of February. But during the end, it's like we brought him some watermelon. Watermelon's his favorite, unlike other than oranges, which is his other favorite. So yeah, he actually ate the whole thing. It was like my mom and I were shocked to see like he ate the whole thing. Plus, he actually started walking again. With like the first time, the second time, like we've been to the hospital. My dad actually made a promise to me saying that he would come home, and then I believed it the entire time. And look at him now. He was like walking. My mom showed me a video of him walking like through. I don't know what those things are called, but it's for like old people to where like you would hold on to some stroller or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it was something like this, and he'll have to walk slowly around it. Like whenever he turned around, he would have to turn the thing around. So it's like I don't know what it's called, but I think you guys might get it. So it's like and then yeah, he started actually walking, and then finally, the end of February, he was out of there. It was just simply amazing what these doctors can do because University of Chicago is actually a really good place. I mean, even though like it's really hard to get into because you need an ACT of like 30 or something, which is ridiculously high. So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna get in there, but it's actually a really nice campus. Like you can see the football fields, you can see all the buildings in Chicago, which is like really nice. So yeah, but in terms of going home, yeah, he was really excited. I mean, I believe the dogs, like my three cute little dogs, which I'll explain later. They actually still remember him. I mean, I was expecting like for them to be barking all the time, but no, they actually still remember him, even though he was bald headed. He was completely skinny. Well, completely not skinny because his stomach was full of water, and he couldn't walk that much. But yeah, they still remember him, which is really shocking. So yeah, that's basically it for the hospital. Which March was a good month. Yeah, because he was eating a lot more. He was like he can still drive, which is really nice because I'm getting my license in like 2 weeks, like the week before graduation, which is like May 17th or something like that. He's been driving with me, so to get my like I can actually do my 6 hour lessons, which is like 6 hours of in the wheel and then 6 hours of observation, which is like throughout March and April. But April was time of month again that he actually went back to the hospital because of a high fever due to the chemo again. It's like once he goes into the chemo stage again, it's like no, it's too strong for him to take because his body is so weak after all the medication he's gotten for the past 3 months. So yeah, I mean, but it wasn't as bad as the 3 months he stayed. It's just like 2 weeks, I believe, because the chemo actually gives him high fever, which is unexplained because we got no idea why is it coming from. It's like my dad has one of those type of blood and platelet rarities to where like his platelets were actually really rare to find. That's what the doctors told us. And his blood is actually different too. Like here's a little story. My mom actually told me that when they actually started dating, um, my dad wanted to get piercings and tattoos, which is like okay, but um, like my mom's mom or grandmother or something like that, she didn't actually approve of that. Like he didn't like my dad because of all the like piercings and tattoos he had in the beginning. So it's like okay, and then my dad had to go to the doctor because apparently he was bleeding and he had an infection, which is like one small piercing like here and then here somewhere, and then they removed it because like once you get a piercing, like my dad got a piercing like anywhere, he started getting infections, and my mom had earrings and then a piercing right here, and she has no infections, which is like ridiculous. So it's like my dad has one of those rarities, like in his blood and platelets that they're so rare to find. So, but once again, the University of Chicago has everything. So we're just so lucky to have that hospital because if we don't, then I don't even know what I'm gonna say or what we're gonna do. And then in terms of our money issues, thanks to Social Security, like we weren't able to actually afford a couple more things now. Like what I'm recording right now is my new iPhone 6, which is actually really nice. Um, we paid for the whole thing like $800, which is like not a bad deal because I am not about to pay like $45 for like data usage, and that's just way too much. So we just rather pay the whole thing. So yeah, and then that's pretty much April. So now we're gonna go into May, which is actually the biggest month ever because we are gonna go to graduation in like 3 weeks, which is really insane. I mean, right now, as of this video, there's like 9 days left of school. That is really insane. Like these next 2 weeks, I'm gonna fly by, but I also have a couple of things left to do, like the Constitution test, which is next week, and then some other projects and homework that is related to English because we're doing something like vampires versus zombies, and we're doing like this packet thing in small paper, which is ridiculous. But yeah, so just a couple of projects and I'm done. So And then finals, of course, I had to take finals because I believe, yeah, AP Calc is what's driving me a problem. So, yeah, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, and in terms of events, prom's out because yeah, my dad's starting to get a high fever again, which is really cool because we don't even know where that comes from. Like he recently got new pills, which the doctors say that could help him, but the price, which is really high, which is like um $900 for a pill, which is ridiculous. Like me and my mom one time when she picked me up from school, she told me everything like the pills like it could actually help him, but the cost is like really high. So, but she talked to the doctors, and hopefully they will get that down. But we don't know when it will, that will take effect. So we're just gonna have to wait on that. And and the Avid celebration, which I know most of you don't understand, but basically Avid is like my second family. Like they've been helping me through this a lot, and we just talk about a lot of things. And my past 4 years with them has been really amazing. Like I'm actually changed a little bit more now, so yeah, that's really cool. But unfortunately for the celebration we have tomorrow, unfortunately, apparently, we have another appointment with the doctor tomorrow at like 1 o'clock. So it's like really cool. So well, not really that cool, but um, sometimes I like to say that word "cool" because it's like sarcastically, it's sarcastic. So um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, because my dad actually had an appointment today, but unfortunately, due to the waiting time, we have to go back tomorrow because they're gonna remove some more liquid off of his body and maybe a bone marrow test, I believe. Yeah, bone marrow test, and then check if he needs more blood, which is obviously gonna take a while because the blood actually takes like an hour or something like that. So unfortunately, I cannot come, which is really saddening because I really wanted my family to come, but due to these issues, I cannot come. Same thing with prom because, yeah, money, also money issues back then, so yeah. And graduation, like, like we already talked about this with my mom and dad. It's like if my dad gets hospitalized again, then we're just gonna go with my mom because there's no way I'm gonna miss that. I mean, I worked hard for these four past years, and there's no way I'm gonna skip on graduation. So, like, I'm guaranteeing myself that I will be there at graduation. So, there's no way that I'm backing out of that one. Plus, all the other events that's coming next week. No, 2 weeks from now. Yeah, I'll be there in those other events. So just those two major events that I won't be going, which is really saddening, and the last high school activities, which is like 2 weeks from now, which I'm really excited for because all those 4 years of hard work and dedication actually really paid off. So yeah, that is everything for this update. Now, I'm gonna be talking about my channel because I have not uploaded Super Mario 64 for the past 4 months. So basically, what happened was two reasons. One, school, because all the projects and homework that I had, I could not find the time to record and do all this stuff because it's like civics has a lot of projects apparently. So it's like the CAP project where you have to volunteer, and then all these notes. It's basically a flipped class where like instead of doing notes in class, you have to take them at home and then do tests there. It's basically like college. And English, they had a lot of papers, and then also had to make a CD, which first of all I had no idea how to do that, so that took some time. And yeah, that's all the homework that I have. I mean, other than Spanish. So yeah. Reason number two, the computer broke, which is really cool. Like you guys, like my computer is actually really high in quality, and like we bought that like 2 years, 3 years ago. But then all these like our protection ended, and so we're gonna get a new one. But like then all these viruses came in. It was like, and there was like nothing I could do like to save my Super Mario 64 file. So all of that has been deleted off of my computer, and we have no idea when are we gonna fix that. So it's like, unfortunately, Super Mario 64 has been like I am not gonna quit that game. Like I'm gonna continue until it's completely done. But what that means is I need to do Super Mario 64 all over again through another computer, which is like down here. So I need to go through all the episodes that I went through and figure out where the last star I recorded was there. So it's like, I believe I was on my 100th one, I believe. Because I also have 2 parts on my iPad, which I never uploaded because time restraints. I mean, those are the final 2 episodes before I took a break. So it's like, okay. So I will upload those starting tomorrow. So don't worry about those. And sorry about that. There's giant birds right now. They're just waking up because of this light right here. So what else? I don't know. So yeah, I believe that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is a really long video, but I have to do this right away because I realize that like if I wait any longer, then I won't express my feelings and everything that has happened to me ever since January, February, March, April, and May. So just basically call this like a 5-month update. So yeah. And don't worry, I will do updates like this over the summer as well, so I can tell you guys like what's been going on, all that stuff. Because I really like doing these video updates because it actually shares my feelings and like what else actually expresses like what have I done like these past couple of months. So it's like I'm gonna probably do these updates like twice, like no, like once every 2 months, so that I will have a lot to talk about, but not like this because right now the video is at 32 minutes. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And yeah, so we're done. See you guys later.